From Philadelphia's Shibe Park, this is Kurt Berglund with Pine Tar Baseball for you. The National League Championship Series of My Great Teams Tournament. That's right, it's Game 2, featuring the 1979 Montreal Expos, a Cinderella story, and the 16th team that I put into the Great Teams set, the last one, has reached the finals, the National League Championship Series against the 1964 Philadelphia Phillies, one of the most popular teams in the Great Teams survey that we did way back in January of 2020. We started at 8 National League teams and 8 American League teams. We are down to 2 in each league. The 79 Expos in Game 2 at the Philadelphia Phillies of 1964. 2 Cinderella teams making the National League Championship Series. It's a best-of-5 series. This is Game 2. Game 1 was a 1-0 classic. I will not spoil it for you in case you have not seen it, but it was an amazing game, very tense throughout, as you might imagine. On the American League side, it's the 1980 Kansas City Royals and the 1974 Oakland A's. They are the last team standing in the American League. Let's look at how we got here. For the 64 Phillies, they defeated the 65 Dodgers in 4 games, 3-1, and advanced to round 2. The 1979 Expos defeated the 85 Cardinals in 4 games, and then they went on and upset the 1975 Reds in 5 games. Amazingly, after dropping games 1 and 2, they came back and swept the Reds in games 3 and 4 and 5 to get to the NLCS. We're right here, and it's a best-of-5 to determine who goes to the World Series. The format is the home team the winning record, the best record, gets games 1 and then 4 and 5 if necessary in this best-of-5. The team with the lesser record gets games 2 and 3, and that's where we are, and that's why we are in Philadelphia for this one. Game 1 featured the Aces. Steve Rogers for the 79 Expos, Jim Bunning for the 1964 Cardinals. Game 2, Chris Short is 2-0 in the tournament. He is on the mound for the Philadelphia Phillies. He is opposed by somewhat surprise starter Bill Lee, and I'll explain why Lee is pitching in Game 2 in just a moment. But first, let's look at the lineups. For the visiting 1979 Montreal Expos, leading off at second base, Rodney Scott. Batting second in right field, Ellis against the left-hander, Ellis Valentine. Batting third in center field, Andre Dawson. Batting fourth doing the catching, Gary Carter. Batting fifth at first base, Tony Perez. Batting sixth at third base, Larry Parrish. Batting seventh in left field, Warren Cromartie. Batting eighth at shortstop, it's Chris Spire. And batting ninth and on the mound, it's Bill Lee, the spaceman. An excellent pitcher in the 1970s, of course. But on the road, you can see he's a C-grade pitcher and stays a C-grade pitcher after the second time through the order. He has no strikeout and walk modifiers and a maximum innings pitched of 7, and of course that can change, that can go up with good performance. He is pitching in this game, however, because he is left-handed. A left-handed pitcher does several things to the 1964 Phillies lineup. One, is it makes right fielder Johnny Callison a little bit weaker as a left-handed batter. It takes left fielder Wes Covington out of the lineup entirely, and it weakens Tony Gonzalez, the center fielder, also a left-handed batter. It also takes starting catcher Clay Dalrymple out of the lineup. And so the Phillies, 64 Phillies, might be a little bit weaker against left-handed pitching. We'll find out today. Their lineup, with the adjustments made, at second base, leading off Tony Taylor. Batting second, right field, Johnny Callison. Batting third, the Rookie of the Year, 1964, Richie Allen at third base. Batting fourth, a lineup change. Batting fourth, Cookie Rojas in left field. A little bit of a gamble, but we're taking it to try and take advantage of Bill Lee's left-handed pitching. Batting fifth, as usual, in center field, Tony Gonzalez. Batting sixth, the lineup change. His first start in the tournament, it's first baseman Vic Power, a late-season pickup by the 64 Phillies. Batting seventh, their right-handed part of their catching platoon, it's Gus Triandos. And batting eighth, as usual, shortstop Bobby Wine. Batting ninth and pitching is Chris Short. Chris Short, as you can see on his card, is an A pitcher at home and an A+ the third time through the order and subsequent turns through the order. Strikeout modifiers on 55 and 77 for the number 2 man in the Phillies rotation in 64. And maximum innings pitched of 7, and of course that can go up with good performance. We are now ready to begin Game 2 of the National League Championship Series. It's Short on the mound against the 79 Expos. Rodney Scott digging in to lead off the ball game. And here I did not say, but I should have, that Bill Lee in the tournament is 1-0 and Chris Short in the tournament 2-0. Here we go with Game 2. It's Rodney Scott stepping in against Short. And Rodney lines a base hit to left field. He is aboard, and he is a definite threat to steal if he's on. The key for Scott, of course, is he on? He's an A stealer, a 75% chance of being safe. Gus Triandos doing the catching, -5, so that knocks him down to a 70. Ellis Valentine stepping in against Short, and Ellis Valentine did horrible things to left-handed pitching in 1979, and that's why he's in the number 2 spot today. The pitch to Valentine. Scott is not going. It's a line drive, base hit, center field. Gonzalez into right center a little bit. That's going to allow Scott to go all the way to third, and the Expos have men at the corners in the top of the first in this one. Nobody out. Andre Dawson, the Hawk, stepping in against Short. The Phillies defense is going to play back for a double play. The pitch home is a fly ball to center field. Tony Gonzalez is camped under this one. Scott is tagging. Rodney Scott is tagging at third base. Gonzalez makes the catch. The throw home is... he bluffed. He goes back. Scott returns to third base. He slipped on his jump and returns to third base. Dawson does not bring in the run from third. With 1 out now and Gary Carter up, infield still at double play depth. Scott at third, Valentine at first. Carter steps in, a double play target. The pitch from Short is hit in the air to center. Gonzalez in a few steps. Scott tagging again. Gonzalez makes the catch. The throw home is not in time, and Carter brings home Scott on a sacrifice fly, and it's 1-0 Expos. Here in the first inning with 2 men out. Valentine holds at first base, and with 2 outs, it's Tony Perez 1-0 79 Expos in the top of the first. Perez hits one in the air to center. This is going to drive Gonzalez back, but he's going to be there to make the catch. And he ties the record held by many, making all 3 putouts in the inning. It's 1-0, 1 run on 2 hits for the Expos, and a sacrifice fly for Carter gives the 79 Expos a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Game 2 of the NLCS. Does Bill Lee have what it takes? Does he have the right stuff? See what I did there with his book, The Wrong Stuff? No, never mind. All right, so Taylor steps in, leading off for the Phillies. Taylor, Callison, Allen for the Phillies in the first. Tony lines a base hit to left field. He's aboard. Both leadoff batters reach first in the top of the first. Taylor is a 64% chance to steal, but minus Carter's arm, which is fabulous, minus 13. That might give him second thoughts on going. Callison steps in. Will he be given the order to bunt? Callison steps in. Lee to the belt. Checks Taylor at first. The pitch to Johnny. This one's hit in the air to right field. Ellis Valentine back a step, but he's there to make the catch, and that's out number 1. Taylor retreats to first base. It's Richie Allen standing in for the Phillies. Richie hit .318 and winning the Rookie of the Year in 1964. The pitch to him is hit in the air to right field. Valentine retreating to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Richie Allen has left the building, and so has Elvis. It's 2-1, 64 Phillies in the bottom of the first. Bill Lee gives up a long ball to Richie Allen, and the Phillies take the lead in the bottom of the first. Cookie Rojas, the left fielder, surprise starter, surprise cleanup hitter. In the bottom of the first, he is batting for the first time. He hit .291. In 1964, the pitch to him is hit on the ground to first and gloved by Perez. Tony will stagger to first base, and that's 2 down. And Tony Gonzalez steps in. Tony hit .278 in 1964. Patrolled center field for Gene Mauch, and he strikes out on a Lee changeup in the bottom of the first. But we've already had more offense than we did in Game 1. After 1 complete, it's the 64 Phillies 2, the 79 Expos 1, and we go to the second. This one might be a very different contest. In bringing in a right-handed platoon, the 64 Phillies improved their defense. Let's see if that matters in this game. Larry Parrish, the slugging third baseman, batting 6th today for the Expos, stands in. It'll be Parrish, Cromartie, and Spire for the 79 Expos. Larry hit .307 in 1979, and this is a wild pitch by short. It's a ball that goes all the way to the screen. No worries, nobody on. 1-0 to Parrish. The pitch to Larry is hit on the ground to Taylor and takes a bad hop. It's a base hit for Parrish, and that's a single. As my coffee comes back on me this morning, Parrish is on with a single, and Cromartie steps in, the left-handed hitting left fielder for the Expos. Short to the belt, checks Parrish. The pitch home to Cromartie is strike 3 on some Chris Short gas. 1 down in the second, and Spire steps in. .227 in 1979 for Chris. This one, we've got our first error check. Spire hits a line drive. Let's see where it goes. It's a line drive at short. That means Bobby Wine. And Bobby Wine boots it. It's an E6. It's an E6 for Bobby Wine. And it'll be a one-base advance for Parrish on the E6 with one out. The Expos have Parrish at second, Spire at first, and the spaceman coming up to bat. Bill Lee is a above-average bunter. Will Dick Williams give him the bunt sign with 2 men on and 1 man out, or will he let him swing away? We'll get Lee's card in here for you. Pitch to Lee. He's not squaring around. He is not squared to bunt. This one is hit on the ground to third. Gloved by Allen. And fumbled by Allen. He picks it up, throws to first. He's got all day to get Lee, but he misses his chance to get the double play. Lee does not bunt, but does advance the base runners. As Parrish goes to third, Spire goes to second. There's 2 men out for Rodney Scott. Runners in scoring position. Short has to bear down. He does not have his good stuff today, apparently. The Phillies defense is playing back, of course, with 2 outs. The pitch to Rodney Scott. Ground ball to third, gloved by Allen. This time he's going to throw to Power for the out and retire the 79 Expos. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the 64 Phillies 2, the 79 Expos 1 in Game 2 of the National League Championship Series between these two Cinderella special teams. Bill Lee on the mound to face Vic Power, who hit .239 in 1964, famous for his glove, but can hit a little too. And this is a base hit to right field. Power goes the other way. He's aboard with a single. He is aboard with a single. Gus Triandos steps in. He's the right-handed hitting part of the catching platoon for the 64 Phillies. He hit .250 on the season with some pop in his bat. Will Gene Mock ask Triandos to bunt? Power takes his lead. The pitch to Triandos. He's not bunting. This is a range check. We have our range check. It's 86. That's left field. Cromartie coming on. Warren Cromartie does not make the play. It drops in front of him. And Power will stop at second base. Vic Power will stop at second base on the single. So the Phillies have men at first and second, with Bobby Wine coming to the plate. Nobody out in the first. Bobby Wine, an awful bunter. And so in 1964 at least, and so will Mock give him the bunt sign. First and second, only .212 on the year for Bobby. Lee to the belt, the pitch home. Is a walk. Lee walks Bobby Wine, a .212 hitter, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out in the second. That's going to get Dick Williams on the bullpen phone. The bullpen is rested thanks to the complete game thrown by Rogers in Game 1. And it'll be Scott Sanderson and Rudy May throwing in the Expos bullpen. There's nobody out. The Expos defense plays back for a double play. And Chris Short is at the plate. Chris is actually a good bunter. But will he get the bunt sign with nobody out? Power takes his lead off third. Lee to the belt. Excuse me. The pitch to Short. Short does square. It's going to be a bunt. It's going to be a bunt. He gets it down. Back to Lee. Lee will go to Rodney Scott for the out at first base. A bases loaded squeeze bunt by Chris Short scores the Phillies' third run. It's 3-1 Phillies, and it moves up the base runners to second and third. Triandos at third, Wine at second. There's one man out. Tony Taylor is at the plate. He's 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. 3-1 Phillies. The Expos infield moves in. The pitch to Tony. He strikes him out. Lee, with a changeup, strikes out Taylor, and that's 2 outs in the second. Runners hold at second and third, and it's Johnny Callison. Lee to the belt, checks the base runners. The pitch home to Callison is hit on the ground to short. That's Spire, who will throw to Perez for the out. That retires the Phillies in the second. However, the Phillies add another run to their lead. After 2 complete, it's the 64 Phillies 3, the 79 Expos 1. And the Expos bullpen for the moment can take a breather. Short back on the mound. Top of the third, it'll be Valentine, Dawson, and Carter for the Expos. A lot of thunder in that lineup. Ground ball second base, Tony Taylor off the bat of Valentine fields it and throws to Power for the out. That's 1 down. Andre Dawson steps in. 0 for 1 for the Hawk. On the day, this one, he strikes out on some Chris Short gas. Look at Short with 2 up and 2 down in the third. Gary Carter. Sac fly, bringing in the Expos' only run back in the first inning. 2 outs, nobody on to him right now. Line shot for Carter. We've got an error check. And error check. Who's getting this one? It's a shot to Richie Allen at third base. But he makes, the play, barely, and throws to Power for the out. That will retire the Expos in the third. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Phillies. And it'll be the meat of the Expos order, of the Phillies order in the bottom of the third. Allen, Rojas, Gonzalez. Gene Mauch looking to play some small ball with this lineup today. The pitch from Lee to Allen is hit on the ground to first. That's Perez. Perez is going to flip to Bill Lee, covering the bag for the first out of the inning. And it'll bring up Cookie Rojas. Cookie's 0 for 1. Playing left field today in place of Wes Covington. We have a range check. Shot at third base. Gloved by Parrish. He will throw to Perez for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Lee. Maybe he's righting the ship after a couple of shaky innings. And Tony Gonzalez steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. He's 0 for 1, struck out in the first. The pitch to Tony is lifted in the air to center. This is Dawson, who will make the play and retire the Phillies 1-2-3 in the third. We go to the top of the fourth. It's the 64 Phillies 3, the 79 Expos 1 in Game 2 of the NLCS in my Great Teams Tournament for Pine Tar Baseball, found at ttlbaseballgame.com. Perez is 0 for 1, 270 in 1979. Leading off the inning, Tony hits one in the air to center field. Tony Gonzalez is going to come in a few steps and make the play, and that's out number 1 in the fourth. Short with now 6 in a row retired. Perez stands in, 1 for 1 on the day. Pitch to Larry. Line drive, base hit left field. He pulls it for his second hit of the game. Pulls it between Wine and Allen for a single. And with 1 man out and 1 man on, it's going to be the man they call Crow, Warren Cromartie, standing in. He struck out in the second against Short. Cromartie, the pitch. And that's going to be big time trouble to left. Over Rojas's head, it's going to bounce off the Shibe Park left field wall. Parrish streaks, if that's the term I'm looking for, to third base. Are they going to wave him? Let's check Rojas's arm. It's not strong. Rojas hits Wine. And here comes Bobby's throw to Triandos. They're waving Parrish around third base. The throw home to get Larry is in time. Rojas to Wine to Triandos, nail Parrish at the plate. And the Expos lose a chance to get a run on a gambling play by their third base coach. Oh, Ozzie Virgil, I believe, was Dick Williams' third base coach in '79. So, wow, a big play at the plate. Parrish hit one to left. It was over Rojas's head and off the wall. Rojas hit Wine with the relay throw, and Wine made a strike to Triandos, blocking the plate to keep Parrish from scoring. The score remains 3-1 in this one. Cromartie is on second base. Spire is up with Lee on deck. Chris had an off year in '79, so they're going to pitch to him. Spire is 0 for 1. He reached on a Bobby Wine error back in the second with 2 outs. The pitch to Spire. They struck him out on some Chris Short gas. That gets the Phillies out of the inning. Cookie Rojas to Bobby Wine to Gus Triandos shuts down the Expos scoring chance, and the score going to the bottom of the fourth. It's the 64 Phillies 3, the 79 Expos 1. A big play on the bases for the 64 Phillies. All right, Vic Power stands in, 1 for 1, run scored in the second. Off the spaceman, Bill Lee. The pitch to him is another hit. Vic Power with a base hit to center field. He goes right back up the middle with a Bill Lee changeup, and he's aboard with a single. Gus Triandos also 1 for 1 in the day. Steps in, the Expos bullpen going back to work. Pitch to Triandos. They struck him out on some Lee soft stuff. That's 1 down in the fourth. Bobby Wine, like having a second pitcher in the lineup as far as offense goes. Lead of the belt. He checks Power at first base. The pitch home to Wine. Got a range check. It's left field. It's Warren Cromartie coming on, and he makes the catch for out number 2. And that'll bring up Chris Short with 2 outs. And Vic Power retreating back to first base. Chris Short stands in, not an accomplished hitter. That's not why he's in the lineup. He's there to pitch and maybe win his 3rd game of the tournament today. Sacrifice bunt, a successful suicide squeeze back in the second for Short. The pitch to Chris. Hit in the air to right field. Ellis Valentine coming in. Takes it and will retire the side. in the fourth. We go to the fifth. It's 64 Phillies 3, 79 Expos 1 in this one. And it's Bill Lee leading off the fifth for Montreal. Yep, they're going to let him bat. Here we go. Lee, not helpless with the stick. A pitch to him from short is hit on the ground to Vic Power. Vic is going to flip to Chris Short covering first, and that's one down in the Expos' fifth. Top of the order now, Rodney Scott is 1 for 2. He has scored the only Expos run of this ball game. Pitch to Rodney is slapped in the air to center. Tony Gonzalez on the run is going to make the catch for that's 2 outs. And Ellis Valentine hitting second today against the left-hander Short. 1 for 2 on the day. The pitch to Ellis is hit in the air to right. Johnny Callison dead in his tracks. Makes the grab, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Short. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's the Phillies 3 and the Expos 1. Bill Lee strolling back out to face the top of the Phillies order. It's Taylor, Callison, and Allen in the bottom of the fifth as they look for insurance runs. The pitch to Taylor is lifted in the air to left. Cromartie towards the line will make the play, and that's 1 down. Johnny Callison stands in against Lee. Johnny's 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch to him. Hit hard. This one's trouble. It's way back. Valentine to the wall, and Johnny Callison has just taken Bill Lee deep. Elvis has left the building, and so has Johnny Callison. It's 4-1 Phillies in the bottom of the fifth. Lee, frustrated with himself on the mound. Richie Allen stands in. He's 1 for 2 with a 2-run bomb of his own in the first. The pitch to Richie. Hit hard. This one's down the line. And Cromartie's on his way over to get it. But it hits the wall and takes a crazy hop. Allen is around second. He's going to go all the way to third, and he is there with a standing triple to left off of the pitch of Bill Lee. That's going to be it. Dick Williams coming out to get Lee. We'll give you Lee's line. The gamble by Dick Williams to get the left-handed starting pitcher in there against the 64 Phillies does not pay off. It's going to be Scott Sanderson coming on. But let's do Lee first of all. Bill Lee pitched 4 1/3 innings. He allowed 7 hits. He walked 1 batter. He struck out 3 batters. He has allowed 4 runs, all earned to this point. Allen on third base is his responsibility. There's 1 man out in the fifth, and it's Scott Sanderson on to face Cookie Rojas. With 1 out, Rojas is 0 for 2 today. We are in the bottom of the fifth. Mock is considering going with Wes Covington at this point, but he's not going to. He's going to let Rojas bat against the right-hander. The Phillies lead by 3. The Expos are bringing their infield in. Will Mock have Rojas put on the suicide squeeze? Sanderson to the belt, looks at Richie Allen at third base. The pitch home to Rojas. He's not squaring to bunt. Ground ball, second base. Gloved by Scott, who is positioned in. He checks Allen at third. Allen holds, and so Scott makes the play to Perez at first base, and there's 2 outs now for Tony Gonzalez. Expos defense moves back to normal depth. Gonzalez, the left-handed batting center fielder, is 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. Sanderson to the belt again, looks at Allen. The pitch home to Gonzalez. And he walks Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez draws a walk off Sanderson. And now there are runners at first and third. Vic Power is 2 for 2. They could hit for him, but they're not going to. Runners are at the corners. There's 2 men out. Gonzalez is at first. Allen is at third. And Power is at the plate. And that's a big run standing on third base if they can get him in. With 2 outs, Sanderson checks Allen at third. He checks Gonzalez at first. The pitch home to Power. And Vic Power lines a base hit. He's 3 for 3. That brings in Richie Allen from third base. Tony Gonzalez on the single to left center. Tony Gonzalez streaks all the way to third base, and the throw comes into second to hold Power at first. So the Phillies again have men at the corners, still with 2 outs, of course, and they have scored 2 runs in this inning. It's the 64 Phillies 5, the 79 Expos 1 in the bottom of the 5th. They're threatening to break this thing open. Triandos is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. He stands in with Gonzalez at third, Power at first. The pitch home to Gus. He strikes him out on a Sanderson breaking ball. That gets the Phillies retired in the bottom of the 5th, but they score 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. And after 5 complete, the Cinderella 64 Phillies are beating the 79 Cinderella Montreal Expos 5-1 here at Shibe Park in Game 2 of the NLCS. Chris Short back on the mound for the 6th inning. It's the heart of the Expos order this inning. Dawson, Carter, Perez. They are combined 0 for 5 in this game. The pitch to Dawson. He strikes out on Chris Short, gas for the 2nd time on the day. Carter's 0 for 1. He stands in. He had a sacrifice fly to drive in the Expos' only run in the 1st inning. Pitch to Gary. The kid hammers one on the ground to short. That's Bobby Wine, who does what Bobby Wine is supposed to do and throws to Vic Power for the out. That's 1 down, 2 down. And Tony Perez, who has flown out to Gonzalez twice in this game so far. The pitch to Tony. Hey, strikes out, and Short is back on his game for sure. 7 in a row retired by the Phillies' number 2 starter. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the 64 Phillies 5, the 79 Expos 1. Sanderson back on the mound for Montreal. Bobby Wine, Chris Short, and Tony Taylor will be the batters he will face in the Phillies' 6th inning. Phillies fans feeling good about things right now. 0 for 1 for Wine with a walk in this game. Wine strikes out on some Sanderson heat. 1 down in the 6th. Chris Short steps in. Chris doesn't miss too many meals, and he's been known to enjoy a good buffet. He stands in against Scott Sanderson. The pitch to Chris Short is hit on the ground to second. That's Rodney Scott. Rodney throws to Perez for out number 2 in the 6th. And Tony Taylor, 1 for 3 with a run scored and a strikeout on the day, stands in with 2 outs and nobody on. The pitch to Tony is a walk. He walked him. Phillies leadoff man on twice today. Johnny Callison comes to the plate, and he is dangerous. How do they want to do this? They got the right-handed Richie Allen on deck. They're going to go with Sanderson. Callison homered last inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day and a dangerous hitter. Hit the game-winning home run in the 64 All-Star game off of Dick the Monster Raditz. The pitch to Callison. A comebacker. A comebacker to Sanderson. He's going to flip to Perez, and that will retire the Phillies in the 6th. We go to the top of the 7th. 64 Phillies, 5. And the 79 Expos 1. Giving Chris Short a 4-run lead with 9 outs to go in this game 2 of the NLCS. Parrish is 2 for 2, but was shot down at the plate in the 4th. In a back-breaking, soul-crushing play by the Phillies on defense. Parrish leads off. The pitch from Short to the Expos' third baseman is strike 3 called. Larry Parrish with the bat on his shoulder, and it's 8 in a row for Short. Warren Cromartie's 1 for 2. He doubled and has struck out in this game. Crow. The pitch from Short. Hit in the air to... No, I'm wrong. He hit on the ground to Taylor. Tony flips to Power, and that's 9 in a row for Short. And it's Chris Spire, the Expos shortstop, with 2 outs and nobody on, coming to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day for Spire with a strikeout. Chris loops a base hit to left field. It's over Wine's head. Lands in front of Rojas, and Spire's aboard with a single. That gets Sanderson's spot to the plate, and he will be hit for. Scott went 1 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs, none earned. All right, who will bat for Scott Sanderson? It's going to be Jerry White, the Expos, one of the Expos' main pinch hitters, with 2 outs and Spire on first. Jerry White, one of the most important people on the 79 Expos bench for sure, and used often by Dick Williams. White stands in. He hit .297 in 1979 with an on-base percentage of .391. Spire broke Short's string of 9 in a row retired. White stands in. If he hits a long one, that cuts the Phillies' lead in half. Short to the belt. He checks Spire at first base. The pitch home to Jerry White is hit in the air to center. Tony Gonzalez will happily pocket this one, and Short gets out of the 7th. We go to stretch them out, and it's the 64 Phillies 5, the 79 Expos 1 here in Shibe Park. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Expos here in the 7th inning. And it's going to be one of their setup men, Stan Bonson, former New York Yankee Rookie of the Year, will head to the mound. He will bat in the 9th spot in the order. As you can see on his card, Stan Bonson is an A pitcher on the road. He has a walk modifier on 55 and 77 and a maximum innings pitched of 2 in this one, although he may not pitch 2 in this one. We'll see how that goes. We're in the bottom of the 7th. The Phillies lead by 4. It's the heart of their order up. It's Allen, Rojas, and Gonzalez. Richie Allen is 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer and a triple and a pair of runs scored in this one. Pitch from Bonson. He strikes out on some Bonson heat. It's 1 down in the 7th. Cookie Rojas 0 for 3. They could go to Covington here, but they're not going to. They're going to leave the glove in. Not the arm, but the glove. Pitch to Cookie. A strikes out, this time on a Bonson breaking ball. Nope, I'm wrong. Cookie Rojas grounds out to third base. That's taken by Perez, and he throws to Perez for 2 outs in the 7th. And now it's Tony Gonzalez 0 for 2 with a walk and a whiff on the day. The left-handed batting Phillies center fielder, who's done yeoman work in the field today, but not yet with the stick. And just like that, Tony Gonzalez takes Bonson right back up the middle for a base hit. He is aboard. And with 2 outs, he's on first base with a single. Up comes Vic Power, along with Richie Allen, the men of the day on offense. 3 for 3, a run scored, a ribby, and his usual great defense at first base, Vic Power. Bonson to the belt, checks Gonzalez at first. The pitch home to Power is hit in the air to center. Andre Dawson drifting over toward right center, and he will make the play. And for the first time today, Vic Power is retired. You can't stop Vic Power. You can only hope to contain him. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Phillies 5, the Expos 1, and it's getting late for the boys from Montreal. Top of the order, Rodney Scott is 1 for 3 with a run scored today. Pitch from Short, who has a maximum innings pitch of 7, but he's allowed 2 runs or less. He's only allowed 1 run, so he can keep going. And he is. Gene Mauch happily leaves him out there. He strikes out Rodney Scott on a bender. 1 down in the 8th. Ellis Valentine, who knows something about benders, stands in there 1 for 3 today. And he strikes out on a bender, and now Valentine can tell Rodney what it feels like. 1 for 4 for Valentine on the day. 2 outs in the 8th. Andre Dawson is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts of his own. The pitch to Dawson is strike 3 on a curveball. Short. 3 curveballs, 3 strikeouts in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. This might be the Phillies' day. It's it's Philadelphia 5, Montreal 1. And what are they going to do here? Dick Williams is going to pull Bonson. I think we all know how painful that can be. And he's going to go with Woody Fryman, the left-handed version of a closer for the 79 Expos. here in the 8th. Bonson pitched 1 inning. He pitched the bottom of the 7th. Allowed 1 hit, struck out 1, walked none, allowed no runs. Fryman is in. As you can see, he is an A-plus pitcher on the road. Strikeout modifiers of 55 and 77, and a maximum innings pitched of 1. He will face Triandos, Wine, and Short at the bottom of the Phillies order in the 8th, but wouldn't they love an insurance run? Phillies bullpen is getting going. Just in case they want to make a move here, it's going to be Shantz and Balchin. And be careful how you say that. A lefty and a righty, it's double-barreled action in the Phillies bullpen. Getting ready for the 9th. Triandos steps in against Fryman. That's a base hit for Gus. 2 for 4 on the day for him. He sprints, if that's the word I'm looking for, to first base and holds there. Bobby Wine. Ugh. They could ask him to bunt, but it would be ugly. So we'll see what he does here against Fryman. Woody to the belt. He looks at Triandos. Is Mock going to run for Triandos? No, he's not. The pitch to Bobby Wine is hit in the air to right. Ellis Valentine coming in several steps and makes the catch for out number 2 for number 1. And Chris Short steps in 0 for 2 with a suicide squeeze bunt on his day. Short squares around on Fryman and gets another bunt down. This one is bunted to Parrish, who takes it and throws to Scott, covering first, and that moves Triandos up to second base. Fryman facing Taylor now, with Triandos on second base. They could run for him at this point. Yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Triandos is coming out for a pinch runner, so somebody's got a snowball's chance of scoring from second. They're going to use Johnny Briggs to pinch run for Triandos here in the 8th, sorry. Johnny Briggs will run for Triandos at second base. We'll have a new catcher in the 9th. And Tony Taylor stands in. Mock wants this game badly. It's 1 for 3 for Taylor with a run scored, a walk, and a strikeout on the day. Fryman to the belt. He's a man who knows something about a buffet himself. The pitch to Taylor. And Tony Taylor comes through with a base hit to the gap. It's in the gap. It's going to split Cromartie and Dawson. Briggs will score. Taylor will take second before Cromartie can get the throw back into Spire. It's 6-1, 64 Phillies. And that one, it may be time to walk the dog. Fryman to the belt against Callison with Richie Allen on deck. Fryman the pitch home. Base hit, Callison, right field. He pulls it. He pulled the ball. Valentine takes the hit on a hop. He throws home to Carter. Taylor slides and is safe on the single by Callison. Taylor scores from second. It's 7-1 Phillies in the bottom of the 8th with Richie Allen coming to the plate. That's going to do it for Fryman, or is it? No, it's not going to do it. He's going to leave him in there. Allen, 2 for 4 in the day, a homer, a triple, 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored. The pitch to Allen is hit in the air to center. It's high, it's deep, it drives Dawson to the track, but he's got it. And that will retire the Phillies in the 8th, but 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 runs on 3 hits add to the Phillies' lead. Got some changes to make for Philadelphia. It's now the 64 Phillies 7, the 79 Expos 1. Clay Dalrymple is now in to catch because Briggs pinch ran for Triandos in the 8th. Dalrymple will hit 7th in the order. Chris Short is ambling back out to the mound to pitch the 9th. It's Carter, Perez. It's Carter, Perez, and Parrish. The 9th inning, Short will face Carter, Perez, and Parrish. Carter's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Chris Short working on a 5-hitter. A 6-hitter. So far in this one, he has allowed 1 run in 8 complete. The pitch to Carter. We got an error check. Carter lines it right back at Short, who makes the play. A line shot at Short for 1 down. Tony Perez, 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Pitch to Tony. He strikes him out. Short's got the curveball working. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strikeouts on the day for Short. Let me recount. Make sure that's right. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strikeouts. Going for number 11 against Larry Parrish, who's 2 for 3 on the day with a strikeout himself. Short looking to finish this one off with another complete game. It would be his 3rd victory in the tournament. The pitch to Larry. Hit on the ground to second. Tony Taylor to Vic Power, and the 64 Phillies take game 2 of the series by a score of 7-1. Chris Short does what he has to do, and that is win, baby. The series, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but I'll give it to you anyway. The series is now tied at 1 game apiece. Give you the line scores. For the victorious 1964 Philadelphia Phillies, it's 7 runs on 11 hits. And they committed 1 error. For the vanquished 1979 Montreal Expos, they scored 1 run on 6 hits, and they committed no errors. Winning pitcher Chris Short, 3-0 in the tournament. Losing pitcher Bill Lee, he is 1-1. Game 3 will take place on Tuesday. It will be the right-hander. Well, you know what? It's going to be to be announced. For the 64 Phillies, it's Mahaffey's turn, but I don't know if they're going with him or not. He will face the left-hander Dan Schatzeder for the Montreal Expos. And so we'll see who the 64 Phillies end up going with. Tomorrow, the ALCS resumes with Game 2 in that series between the visiting 1974 Oakland A's at the 1980 Kansas City Royals. It'll be Vita Blue against Dennis Leonard in Kansas City. I hope you'll join me for that game, as the ALCS will continue tomorrow in my Great Teams Tournament for Pine Tar Baseball. Please check out Pine Tar Baseball at ttlbaseballgame.com. You can get these cards either in card or PDF form. You can also download everything you need for the game for free. That's right, for free at ttlbaseballgame.com. Join our Facebook page if you have not yet done so. My name is Kurt Berglund. Thank you for joining me. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to comment below. And click like and subscribe to my channel, please. I would appreciate it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day. So long, everybody.